Okay. Very good evening, everyone. Good evening, students. Any volunteer, please confirm about the voice and the video. Okay. If you all are ready, quickly give me a thumbs up. I'll start the session. So, students, first of all, I welcome each one of you to my class on important terminologies of CRPC. Let's start this with my brief introduction first. My name is Sandeep Khatri. My areas of specializations are the constitutional law, criminal law, commercial law, family law, jurisprudence, and law of torts. Students, I have shared the link of my profile of Unacademy, so make sure you follow that to get all the updates about my special classes and my plus courses. I've also shared the link of my Telegram channel where you can connect with me and ask your queries in relation to your judicial preparation. At last, I have mentioned my code, that is Khatri10, which you can use to get free access of all the special classes available on Unacademy app, and also to get 10% discount for all the plus courses. So this was about me. I request everyone now please be attentive, and this is going to be an interactive session. So the moment you feel you are not clear with anything, feel free to ask your questions in the comments and I'll answer accordingly. Now, before starting this session, if you have any question in your mind, you may ask. And if not, quickly give me a thumbs up. I'll start with the important terminologies. Yes, please. Anyone who is not, anyone having any question in your mind in relation to your judicial preparation, you may ask. If not, then quickly give me a thumbs up. I'll straight away start with the class. Very good evening, Aditi and everyone, those of you who have just joined. Okay, I have not received any questions, so I'm continuing with the class. So, students, we can divide the complete CRPC into three terms. And those three terms are, the first one is, the very first one is investigation. The second one is inquiry. And the final third one is trial. So today, as as the name of the topic is the basic terminologies, I'm going to discuss the terms which are going to use in CRPC repeatedly. Okay. So the very first term is investigation. So the first question, whether this term has been defined in CRPC or not, and the answer is yes, this term has been defined. That is section 2H. So any topic you pick, you can put that topic in any one of these concepts, either in investigation, inquiry, or trial. So let's first discuss what is investigation in detail. So first thing you need to know is that section 2 clause H of CRPC defines the term investigation. Now what does this mean? So this is done by the police. The first thing which you need to do. Who is going to do the investigation? The answer is police. Now coming to the second question, why? Why do we need the concept of investigation? Or what is the purpose of investigation? And the answer is to collect evidences. So as per to section 10, it is done by the police and to collect the evidences. So for example, if an offense has taken place, let's take an example of a murder. Now in that scenario, whether that murder has been done by Mr. A only. Now where is the murder weapon? Why did he committed this murder? Who all were involved in that offense? Anyone abetted in that offense? Who all were the part of that conspiracy? Okay, whether there was abatement of murder, who abated that offense? Is there anyone who is the mastermind of this offense? So all these questions basically answered in the concept of investigation. When you go through with CRPC, students, where you will find the investigation. So section 154 till 173. I'll say this is the core, one of the most important part of CRPC. So in this core, you will find that investigation. So starting from FIR, once the FIR has been launched under section 154, then the police officer can do the investigation under section 156. He will send the occurrence report and so on. At the last, in section 173, he will submit the police report, which you can also call as a charge sheet that has been filed by the police officer to the magistrate. So this is what all investigation is. Anyone who is not clear with this investigation? Any questions in relation to investigation? Yes, please. Feel free to ask questions. Coming to the next question. Is there anyone else who can do investigation other than the police officer? Can anyone other than the police officer also do the investigation? So the answer lies in section 2 clause H. I'm just reading that section for you. Investigation includes all the proceedings under this code for the collection of evidence conducted by the police officer or by any person, which means or by any person. It says that the investigation can be done by other than the police officer as well, and who is not a magistrate, but with the permission of the court. Fine. So that was your investigation. Now coming to the next important key term, that is inquiry. Now, whether this term has been defined or not, and the answer is again yes, this term has been defined, and this is under section 2G. So 2G of CRPC define the term inquiry. Now coming to who is going to do the inquiry. That is basically done by the magistrate or court. So magistrate or court. Now what is the purpose of the inquiry? Why inquiry? Why do we need the concept of inquiry? So the reason is that we want trial or not. So when it comes to inquiry, the magistrate is going to decide whether the trial should have been taken place or not. When you read section 2G, by the words, inquiry means every inquiry other than a trial, which means these two are completely different concepts. Conducted under this code by a magistrate or court. So magistrate or court conducted by inquiry. The purpose has not been written here, but I am telling you that is whether the trial should have been taken place or not. Now coming to our final term, that is the trial. When it comes to the final term trial, now the question is whether this term has been defined or not. So the answer is this term has not been defined. This term has not been defined in CRPC. So what all trials are available? So there are 4 kinds of trial, students. The first one, the very first one is trial before court of session. Then there is warrant case trial. Then there is summons case trial. And then at last there is summary trial. So these are all the trials that has been under your CRPC. Now, whenever, usually as far as the steps of CRPC is concerned, as far as the procedure of the CRPC is concerned, it lays like first investigation, then the inquiry, and then the trial. Now, who conducted the trial? Who conducted the trial? The answer is court. And what is the purpose? Why do we need the concept of trial? So that we can get to know about this, whether the conviction should take place or it should be acquittal. So accused has committed the offense or not trial. So conviction or acquittal. This is the basically the purpose of the concept of trial here. Now, any questions from any of these three terms? Yes, please. Okay. Now coming to the next terms. The next important terms which you need to understand at the time of introduction only is cognizable or non-cognizable. Now, what is this all about? Students, when it comes to offenses, we can divide these offenses into two categories, cognizable one or non-cognizable one. Now, the first thing first, how will we get to know whether this particular offense is uh, uh, cognizable offense or non-cognizable offense? So the answer lies in the schedule 1 of CRPC. So there are 6 columns given there, and out of those 6 columns, one column is dealt with cognizable or non-cognizable. So what is going to be the effect? The effect is, if that is an information about the cognizable offense as per to schedule 1, then we are going to lodge the FIR under section 154. And when it comes to non-cognizable offense, if there is an information about non-cognizable offense, then we are going to lodge NCR under section 155. Now, whether these two terms have been defined or not, answer is yes. Both of these terms have been defined in section number 2. So where it is defined? Section number 2. So section 2C defined the term cognizable offense. So what is cognizable offense? As far as section 2C is concerned, it says it means an offense for which, and cognizable case means a case in which a police officer may, which means it's the discretion of the police officer may, in accordance with the first schedule or under any other law for the time being, enforce arrest without warrant. So the concluding point here is, in cases of cognizable offense, the police officer may arrest without warrant. So if the police officer is getting an information that some cognizable offense has taken place, and the police officer got to know that Mr. A is the one who has committed that particular offense, which is cognizable, then in that case, police officer may arrest him without any warrant, which means without taking permission from the magistrate or the court, he may arrest that. But what about in the cases of non-cognizable offenses? So whether this term has been defined or not. So non-cognizable is defined under section 2L, and which says that in this particular case, the police officer can arrest only with warrant. Which means the police officer first needs to take the warrant, or you can say the permission from the magistrate or the court, and then only the police officer may arrest in the non-cognizable offense. Uh, Out of all this discussion, we can confer this as well, that when it comes to cognizable offenses, they are more grave in the nature in comparison to non-cognizable offenses. So these were these two important terms. If you have any questions in relation to this, you may ask. If not, quickly give me a thumbs up. I'll move to the next one. Very good evening, Advocate Gaurav. If you have any questions, you may ask. As of now, we have covered five important terms. The first one we started with the investigation, after that inquiry, then trial, now cognizable offense and non-cognizable offense. So, any questions till now? Okay, okay, Gaurav. Then I'm going to continue with the other important terms which you are going to read in CRPC again and again. Okay, ji? Now coming to the next important term. Now coming to the next one is bailable offense and non-bailable offense. So whether these two terms have been defined, so answer is yes. Section number 2 clause A define bailable offense as well and non-bailable offense as well. So what is bailable offense? As per to section 2A, it means an offense which is shown as bailable in the first schedule or which is made bailable by any other law for the time being in force, and non-bailable offense means any other offense, which means for both bailable and non-bailable offense, you need to refer yourself for Schedule 1. And just like I told you before as well, in Schedule 1, there are total 6 columns. And out of those 6 columns, one is of bailable or non-bailable offense. Okay. So these are the meaning of these terms, bailable offense and non-bailable offense. Now coming to the next one. The next important term is complaint. Now, what is complaint? See, this term has been defined under section 2D. So, when it comes to complaint, this basically means allegations. It means through complaint, you are making some allegations against some person. Now, these allegations can be made orally or in writing, which means it is not mandatory that the complaint should be in the written form. It may be in oral form as well. Now, to whom it is made? So, complaint is not made to the police officer. When it comes to the police officer, you give him the information. Information either about the cognizable offense or non cognizable offense. And for that, the police officer will decide whether he want to lodge the FIR or NCR. But when it comes to the complaint, it is given to magistrate. And once the complaint has been given to magistrate, this can be of any kind of offense. Within bracket, you may write cognizable or non-cognizable. Okay, ji? Now, when it comes to complaint and one party is, making some allegations, okay, the complainant basically we are talking about. So the complainant who is making the complaint to the magistrate, he is making some allegations against some person. So that allegations can be against only some known person or unknown person only. So the answer is both, which means known or unknown person. So it may be against, the complaint may be against known, which is known to you, or unknown. So that basically depends upon the facts of the case. So it may be known or unknown. And the last essential is does not include police report, which means, now I'm concluding this. When it comes to complaint, it does not include police report. Police report, we are referring here section 173 that has been submitted by the police to the magistrate. We are not going to treat that as a complaint. Okay. So this the police report will not cover under the concept of complaint. So now I'm concluding this. Section 2D defined the term complaint. It is basically allegations. What kind of an allegations? Of any kind of an offense. What kind of an offense? Whether it is cognizable or non-cognizable. It may be in the oral form or it may be in the written form as well. Okay. This will be given to the magistrate. The complainant may be known or unknown to the person to whom against whom the complaint has been submitted, and it does not include police report. Now 2D is always read with section 200 to 203, which is basically your complaint proceedings. In complaint proceedings, when it comes to section 200, it states the examination of the complainant. So examination will be done under section 200. After examination, there can be three possibilities. Number one possibility, if after examination the magistrate is convinced that the complainant is genuine, the complaint is genuine, and the offense has taken place, he will go for issue of process. That is under section 204. Now, the second possibility, that the magistrate is convinced that the complaint is not genuine, the complainant is lying, and he is just making some false allegations against a person without any base, then it will fall under dismissal, which is under section 203. And the third and the last possibility is that the magistrate is not satisfied. It's like 50-50, that the magistrate is not sure about that whether it should be 204 or 203, then it will fall under 202, which means postponement of issue of process. And under section 202, then the magistrate will again direct the police to do some investigation to confirm some facts, and after 202, then the magistrate will again take the step of either issue of process or dismissal. So this was about the basic term complaint, which you are going to read again and again. Now, if you have any questions, you may ask. Yes, please. And if it is clear, quickly give me a thumbs up. I'll move to the second important term. Okay. Thank you, Gaurav, for the clarification. On that note, let's move to the next one. The next important term here is the cognizance. Now, the first thing is, what is the meaning of this concept? The meaning is to take judicial notice. So cognizance means to take judicial notice, and one of the most important section is section 190, which you are going to read when it comes to the concept of cognizance. Now, who will take the cognizance? Judicial magistrate first class. And what about judicial magistrate second class? Judicial magistrate second class may take the cognizance, but only when he is authorized by chief judicial magistrate. Then only judicial magistrate second class also may take the cognizance. Okay. Now coming to the next one. when a judicial magistrate first class can take the cognizance. So if you can recall the yesterday's class as well, I told you in detail that there can be three circumstances when judicial magistrate first class may take the cognizance. The first one may be on the police report. This is basically at the time of the charge sheet under section 173, which is submitted by the police. So this is basically in the cases of FIR. If the procedure is running as per to the first step was FIR, then there was investigation. After investigation, the police report has been submitted, and now on police report that the judicial magistrate first class is taking the cognizance. Now what else? The next one is complaint. Now, when it comes to complaint, it was the last term which I just explained you, the role of section 2D, which defined the term complaint, then complaint proceedings 200 to 203. If there is a complaint in front of a magistrate, which is directly to the magistrate, then magistrate can, after doing the examination, can take the cognizance. And the last one is either on the information or suo motu. So these are the three terms, and these are the three circumstances when the judicial magistrate may take the cognizance. Minded students, this term cognizance has not been defined. This term has not been defined. Okay, so this is the term which is going to be used in CRPC repeatedly, and one of the most important terminologies of CRPC. So any questions in relation to this term cognizance? Yes, please. VR classes, you have written such screen is not clear. Could you please explain procedure of complaint? VR classes, I request you to please do a refresh. I hope the issue is not from my end. Okay. Chaliye. So that was it from my end. Anything now, if you want to ask, you may raise your question in the comments. Okay. So students, this is the link of my profile. So make sure you follow that to get all the updates about my special classes and my plus courses. This is the link of my Telegram channel where you can connect with me with your questions on your judicial preparation. And this is my code Khatri10, which you can use to get free access of all the special classes available on Unacademy app. Okay, make sure you use this, and you can learn a lot of things, and that this is something which is completely free of cost. Okay, you don't need to pay anything for the special classes. So let's crack PCSJ with Unacademy. There is a revamped test series, and we have a special offering this December, as you can see in this chart, for major laws, for prelims, for mains examination, for local laws. You will get everything. Bihar State Judiciary batch, which is going to be start from December 8th. This is Judiciary Legends UP batch. You can use Khatri10 and get the price referral code, and get the price after your referral code. This is coming soon, the monthly current affair magazine from Unacademy, Articulate, an initiative by Unacademy. These are the YouTube channels of Unacademy. These are the Telegram channel of the Unacademy. And that's it from my end. See you in my next class. Till then, yes, it's time to say peace.